As Provost of Central European University, it is my privilege to convene the 2019-2020 academic year opening ceremony. Please be seated. First of all, I would like to address a very warm welcome to our incoming students. As you will soon discover, if you don't know it already, CEU is a good, strong, perhaps even great institution of higher learning, research, and civic engagement. It is in some ways like any other university, but it is also different, special, in many ways like no other. You, our incoming students, are a special generation of students in a special university. And that is because most of you will study in two cities, in Budapest, our home of 30 years, and on our new campus in Vienna, Austria. Your journey at CEU will be some kind of a tale of two cities. I would also like to acknowledge the faculty, staff, and continuing student. We all welcome our incoming student today as full members of the CEU community. Now, speaking of a tale of two cities, probably you will all remember the opening line from this famous novel by Charles Dickens, and I have it written here, but I will only paraphrase and I'll try to remember it. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of reason, it was the age of foolishness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. Now, we, members of the administration, faculty, and staff, can promise you, our incoming students, that we will try our best to make sure that yours will be the best of times and not the worst of times in Budapest and in Vienna. We can certainly guarantee that this will be a time of hope and not a time of despair. And we hope that it will be mainly a time of reason with just a little folly, as much as is needed in an institution that is dedicated to intellectual and educational endeavors. We are joined today on these festive occasions by distinguished guests, friends and supporters of the university. A most cordial welcome to all of you, and thank you for being here with us. Honored guests, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, our ceremony begins with opening remark in Hungarian by Professor Zsolt Enyedi, Prorector for Hungarian Affairs. This is the first test for our incoming students who don't speak Hungarian. And the test is not if you understand everything, but if you understand anything. So let's see.
Kedves kollégák, kedves barátaink, és kedves diákok, akik nem sokára barátaink és kollégáink lesztek. Egy nem akármilyen egyetem, nem akármilyen évnyitóján veszünk részt. Most itt, szeretett városunkban, Budapesten találkozunk. De 2 hét múlva már Bécsben fogjuk újra látni egymást. Egyetemeknek ritkán vannak hitelveik, és ez így van jól. A tanulásnak nem a hitről, hanem a tudásról kell szólnia. Azonban minden intézménynek vannak értékei. Mi például hiszünk abban, hogy a diákokat és a tanárokat nem szabad kiszolgáltatni politikai kampányoknak. Hisszük, hogy a felsőoktatás szakmai szervezeteinek erre tartozik, hogy melyik ország milyen diplomát adhat ki, és nem a politikusokra. Hiszünk a kutatás szabadságában és felelősségében. Ezért a hozzáállásért időnként nagy árat kell fizetni. De nem panaszkodhatunk, hiszen a sors a nehézségek mellett új lehetőségeket is adott számunkra. A következő években meg fogjuk mutatni, hogy lehetséges megmaradni Európa egyik legjobb egyetemének a kihívások ellenére. Úgyhogy mindenkit üdvözlök a fedélzeten, kalandra fel!
Thank you very much, Zsolt. We continue with the opening remarks of our president and rector, our leader, Professor Michael Ignatieff.
Dear friends, rectors from from our colleagues in other universities, the diplomatic corps, members of the CEU community, let's begin by welcoming our new students. Could they please stand up? Welcome. Welcome. And now, if you could be seated, I'd like to ask, it'll be a considerably smaller number, to welcome our new faculty, the faculty who are beginning this year. Could they stand up? Great. Welcome. Welcome. You are joining a community that is bonded together by a particular experience, a battle to remain in Budapest as a free institution. We all ought to understand this university will never abandon Budapest. We will continue to be a beacon of freedom in this city, and we will continue to be an international symbol of academic freedom and free inquiry. Now, we have been forged and brought together as a community by a battle against external threats. But our challenge now as a university is to stand up for academic freedom within these walls. Now, why is that a challenge? Let's remember, first of all, how diverse we are. Look around the room, you'll get a flavor of that. There are 86 countries represented in this room. 86 countries from where our student body comes. And all of these students come to CEU with different mother tongues, faiths and family structures, different ideas of right and wrong, different concepts of what is true and false. And let's remember what this diversity, which is our glory and our strength, but let's remember what this diversity demands of us. When we're in a class together next week, let's remember that there's no we in the classroom to begin with. We have to create a learning community together through the practice of knowledge-based discussion. Do not make the mistake of assuming that what you think is what everybody else thinks in the room or takes for granted. We need to create that we, that common sense of a learning community in every classroom, in every coffee break, in every dinner in the dorm, and every night on the town. And we need to do this by listening to each other, by questioning ourselves, and by granting to each the right to be heard and to speak equally. Now, your teachers are there to work with you to create that we in the classroom over the course of this coming year. And their authority, not to be sniffed at, is the authority of experience, of training, and research excellence. But your teachers, folks, can be wrong. Their interpretations can and should be questioned. You need to ask always, is what they're saying true? But equally, you need to ask yourself before you open your mouth, have I got my facts straight? If at the end of your year at CEU you haven't changed any of your opinions, you may have been wasting your time. Judge your time here at CEU not by what it confirms of your view of the world, but by what it challenges of your view of the world. The rules in this house are pretty simple. The rules of civility. Listen before you speak. Treat your colleagues with the respect of full attention. Let them finish their sentences. Try to figure out not only what they say, the words coming out of their mouths, but what they really mean. And here are some negative rules, because there are negative rules in the house, things we should not be doing. It's never right to walk out of a lecture or an argument or a discussion just because someone holds opinions that challenge your own. It's never right to pull posters off the wall in this building just because you've been told the speaker is a reactionary. Let me tell you, CEU will continue to invite speakers to this house that will cause controversy, that will stir up and contradict some of your opinions. It is never right to post or publish rumors or falsehoods about this community. Think about your use of social media. Be a responsible citizen. If you care about the truth, get your facts right before you speak out. And if you have a question or a complaint about CEU, and you're bound to have them, God knows we're not perfect, I hope you'll take the responsibility to go and talk to the responsible agent. We are here to teach responsibility. You are responsible for your opinions. You're responsible for your facts, and you're responsible for your conduct as members of the community. We will hold you accountable as we hold ourselves accountable. That's what being an adult means. CEU is not here to teach you a set of liberal or progressive cliches or confirm you in your fashionable opinions. It's here to teach you that there is such a thing as truth. There is such a thing as knowledge. And that knowledge is acquired through mastery. Many of you are master's students. You're here to acquire mastery of a discipline. In a world of propaganda, lies, and organized deception, there is simply no power in the world that can be compared to truth, because only truth measures up to the immense complexity of reality. So then what is truth? I think of it, because I'm a historian, in historical terms. I think of it as a long human chain stretching back over millennia, back to men and women we don't even know who they were, who accumulated correct answers contributed by every culture and religion and worldview to the essential question, which is, what is reality? And thanks to this immemorial chain of human effort, there is truth in the Psalms. There is truth in the Quran. There is also truth in the latest issue of Nature. And the human race has been searching for truth for millennia. So every time you go up to our library and you look around at those books, think of them as the repository of mankind's search for truth, and understand what a university is. It is the repository of a long search that began before you were born and will be continuing long after you are dead and gone. No culture, religion, or faith has a monopoly on truth, because every one of the cultures that you come from has contributed to the vast accumulation of correct answers to the question of what is real. Of certain realities, there's simply no doubt. And because there is no doubt, knowledge can help us, can help you to be masters of your destiny instead of slaves to fashion, opinion, confusion, and deception. Let me give you one example of that. One example of the ways in which human beings have gained control of reality by gaining control of truth. This example will be known to all of you. We are beginning to understand how human activity is shaping the planet's ecosystem. Our task is to understand what climate science knows and also what climate science doesn't know. And there isn't any better guide to that exercise than Lassie Pinter's in the house somewhere. There you are. On the basis of that knowledge, solid knowledge of what climate is, how it's changing, if you're an economist, you can think about the most efficient ways to price energy. If you're a political scientist, you can understand how to create climate policies that secure and sustain democratic consent. If you're a cognitive scientist, you can understand the biases that make us reluctant to take action even when it's in our interest to do so. If you're a sociologist or a social anthropologist, you can understand how societies adapt and adjust to changes in habitat and climate. If you're a historian like me, you can understand how societies in the past have responded to environmental and climatic pressures of all kinds, because we've been here before and we will be here again. No, CEU will not pull all this together for you. It's out there in our departments. Work of this kind is going on everywhere in the university, and it's for you to decide how to integrate the knowledge we provide, and for us to respond as cooperatively as we can for your demand for usable truth. And one of my key messages to every incoming student is be demanding. Ask a lot of your professors. Ask them tough questions. That is how truth becomes a tool that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life. As the provost has just said, this is going to be a year unlike any other in the history of CEU. You, the incoming class, will be part of a great adventure. In 2 weeks' time, after the first week of class, many of you will board a bus and find your place in new dorms and classrooms in Vienna. You will be there for a semester, and some of you will come back here in the spring semester. We've never done this before, folks. We have to do this because the Hungarian government has forced us to do this. But we will rise to the challenge. We've been planning this for months. There are a lot of heroes and heroines in this house who've got us ready to this point. I particularly thank the wonderful staff at CEU for rising to this challenge. I can confidently predict that as we go through this process of transition, we're going to have some good days and we are going to have some bad days. Things are going to go wrong, folks, and you are the guinea pigs of an experiment. So we need your good humor, your patience, and your cooperation to make this work. We want you to pat staff and God knows even the faculty on the back when they do a good job. And you need to politely, please politely, point out something when something goes amiss so that we can work together to fix it together. Because finally, at the end of the day, we are a community, a learning community. We are all in this together. So finally, let us make this transition year the most exciting in our history. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. And now 2 CEU students will address our gathering. Let's see whether they start questioning and criticizing us. First, a continuing student, following by an incoming student. First, please welcome Emeni Mehrez. Emeni is from Tunisia, is a second-year doctoral candidate in comparative politics. She holds a BA in English Studies from the University of Carthage in Tunis, and an MA in International Relations from the University of Pécs here in Hungary. She is the founder and chair of the CEU Middle East and North Africa Research Group. Her main research interests focus on mass and political behavior, the role of religion in politics, and regime change. In the future, she would like to pursue an academic career in political psychology in the MENA region. Emeni, please come forward.
Dear President and Rector, Provost, distinguished faculty members, dear fellow students and guests, it's a great honor for me to stand here today. I'm sincerely grateful for my nomination and selection for the 2019-2020 academic year CEU Opening Ceremony. First, let me congratulate all the new students who joined the CEU family this year. Before I give you some tips and advice for your new experience at CEU, let me share with you the story that brought me here to this particular university. 8 years ago, Mohamed Bouazizi, a street merchant in an impoverished southern town in Tunisia, set himself on fire after being a victim of discrimination, oppression, and humiliation. He was just one example of hundreds or even thousands of young, desperate Tunisians who suffered from a lack of social, economic, and basic human rights under the Ben Ali regime. A regime which was marred by widespread corruption and subversion of the rule of law. 10 days after the death of Bouazizi, the former president Zine Abidine Ben Ali fled the country, ending 23 years of dictatorship. Having witnessed all these changes, I naturally became intrigued in politics. Eager to develop my critical thinking and my knowledge of world politics, I decided to pursue a PhD in political science. All I wanted was to conduct research in a place where I can feel free to express myself, free to interact with people, and free to criticize others. This is why I chose CEU. At CEU, I found an ideal location combining academic excellence and independent critical thinking, a melting pot of people and free minds, and an open, tolerant, friendly learning environment. no matter who you are or where you come from. Your voice will always be heard here, and you'll always have a place at CEU. Now, my advice for your new journey. 1. Take advantage of your time at CEU. Every minute is so precious and full of new experiences. It's going to be overwhelming, yes. Tiring, You'll probably sleep less, definitely. But remember, if you keep passionate about what you're doing, you are one step closer to your dream. 2. Join CEU teams, research groups, and clubs. Talk to people and explore the diversity around you. Learn from students' research interests and backgrounds. Make up teams and bring up new creative ideas together. 3. Talk to your professors and coordinators. Share your ideas and fears with them. They are not only your teachers, but also awesome friends and colleagues. That's why I call it the CEU family. Last but not least, enjoy the CEU open and free learning experience. Enjoy being in an institution that promotes mutual respect, tolerance, and freedom of speech. Today, CEU is under attack for those same values it stands for. And it's our duty to stand with CEU. I wish you a wonderful and fruitful year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emeni. Our next speaker is Tamar Georgobiani from Georgia. I rehearsed the names all morning. And she is beginning master studies in international relations. She graduated from Tbilisi State University in Georgia in 2018 and studied at 2 German universities as an exchange student. She loves music, theater, and communicating with people, she is interested in learning about and working in conflict resolution. Tamar, please come forward.
Dear President and Rector, dear Provost, dear faculty, dear fellow students, greetings. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to share with you the story of CEU and me. It all started approximately 2.5 years ago when I attended a conference hosted by CEU. There I got to know the ideas and values of the university. To tell you the truth, in Georgia everybody knows about CEU. For the record, we had a president, ministers, even several professors of mine who are CEU alumni. So I had every reason to try and apply. Of course, I had closely examined the International Relations Department and was extremely happy to find out that their academic offerings could be a perfect incubator for my ideas to come to fruition. To be precise, I believed that with the right courses and environment, I could concentrate on an important problem, which unfortunately is present each and every day in Georgia and worldwide, and affects thousands of people. I want to study conflicts. I want to explore their nature and resolution in depth, and to come up with an interdisciplinary approach within an interdisciplinary department. I wanted to study at this university to broaden my knowledge, to learn to think more critically, and to come up with possible ways of changing the existing status quo in my country, aiming at a better future. It's the beginning of the first term, and honestly, I don't have a perfectly clear vision of my future research, but I want to examine different understandings of conflicts, different discourses from the particular to international level, to see what can sharpen conflicts and to find out the best way to reverse the process. I believe studying at CEU will be of great help. All in all, to put the academic perks aside, the thing I cherish the most is the student-oriented approach of CEU, and that the people from the university and from my department have been unbelievably understanding and humane. Despite many complications I had on the way to CEU, they gave it their all, and only with their effort I was able to reach my destination. And here I am, in the present, experiencing the CEU life myself and being a part of the most enriching multicultural society. Participating in the cultural exchange on a daily basis. I get to meet so many wonderful people in this diverse microcosm. And despite the upcoming adventures like going to Vienna and course registration, I am ready and excited for my CEU journey to start. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tamar. It is now my pleasure to introduce Professor Laszlo Pinter, representing the CEU faculty. Professor Pinter is the head of CEU's Department of Environmental Sciences and Policy. He is an internationally acknowledged educator and researcher, and a professional with over 2 decades of experience in sustainable development on the global scene. Professor Laszlo Pinter.
Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to address a distinguished group of the university's friends, colleagues, continuing, and most importantly, incoming students. You may be relieved that I'm not giving a talk about sustainability science and climate change now, although it's coming. When I was offered the honor to welcome you on behalf of faculty here a few days ago, I thought I could start my comments by rhetorically welcoming you at the start of your journey of graduate studies as an important or even decisive milestone in your life. I thought then I should continue and extol the virtues of faculty second to none, dedicated to excellence and unrestricted freedom in research, driven by honest and inspired curiosity, and most of all, passionate about passing on knowledge and skills to you, a cream of the crop of the next generation. From that point, I thought I could move on and say a few words about what makes CEU a unique and distinguished institution. An institution with a track record recognized by many, except those who want us to think it is the pipes, bricks, acreage, and postal code of a campus, and not the intellectual content, accredited program, and quality of minds that are the heart and soul of a university, wherever it operates. That is all true and valid. That is all something I'm here to say. But then I paused and thought it would be incorrect to refer to this as the start of your journey. Although we are here at the opening ceremony, you are all already well on your way. You are here, first of all, from many directions and often many miles away, and as our rector already said, many makes this university one of the most diverse in the world, closely matched by the diversity of your faculty. Your journey already involved complicated discussions with family who are, in many cases, making serious sacrifices to help you realize your dreams. And as a father of a fresh master's graduate, an almost graduate, and an almost university student, I can closely and personally relate. But most importantly, you are all well into an intellectual journey that almost always starts with an inquisitive mind, asking hard questions, and the determination to find honest and true answers, whatever it takes. You weighed your options, and I know most of you had many, and you made the right choice and came to CEU. We recognize and take the weight of your decision very seriously. Whether you are continuing or starting your work towards your degree, you should and you can count on access to resources, faculty, and staff dedicated to help navigating your journey feasible. You will set and pass many important milestones, and as you are about to choose your courses, you probably start to have a sense of what they are. As time will fly and your tasks often multiply faster than you expected, you will need to gather not only new knowledge, but develop new and more efficient working habits. You will need to construct, challenge, and defend arguments more vigorously than perhaps any time before. You will need to be resilient by recognizing if you are off track and adapt your course. You will dig deeper and question not only what we know, but how we know what we think we do. You will be exposed to ideas beyond the current boundaries of your knowledge and perhaps imagination, venturing into trans and interdisciplinary inquiry where many of the ideas and forces of change that shape the world today collide and shape, yet in unknown ways, the world of tomorrow. Find the time to take university-wide courses in addition to your disciplinary home. Attend some of the many mind-opening events on campus, whether in Budapest or Vienna. As my closing thought, let me assure you that while your education is a very personal journey, you are not navigating it alone. Besides faculty, you will learn from your peers and you will also contribute to their learning experiences in deeper and more substantive ways than you thought was possible. We, as faculty, will also go far and wide to ensure your travel is not a lonely, but also a social experience. And that is important not only because learning as a shared experience will help make you a more successful individual. There is a corollary to this, best summarized in an ancient and well-known African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to travel far, go together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laszlo. We continue our program with a musical piece, György Ligeti's Hora Lunga. Hora is a type of traditional music from Maramuresh or Maramuresh, a region in the Carpathian Mountains. Hora Lunga will be performed on cello by Tomáš Zétényi. Tomáš was a musician in residence at CEU from 2018 to 2011, and it's very nice to have him back with us. Thank you very much, Tomasz. We are moving to the next and last part of our ceremony, and we will present 3 awards. The CEU Award for Outstanding Research, the CEU Distinguished Teaching Award, and the European Award for Excellence in Teaching in the Social Sciences and Humanities. It is by now a tradition at CEU to present these awards at the academic year opening when we welcome our new students. In this way, we acknowledge excellent academics from CEU and from Europe for their outstanding achievements. At the same time, these awards are important tools to signal unequivocally and loudly CEU's commitment to excellence in both research and teaching. The teaching awards in particular are a message to our incoming students that we are here for you, for all students, that we value student learning most of all for your careers and for your lives, and that the primary mission of CEU is to serve our students to support their learning. It is with very much pleasure that I would like to announce first the recipient of the 2019 CEU Award for Outstanding Research, Professor Konstantin Iordaki from the Department of History. Professor Iordaki receives the prize in recognition, among others, of his monograph, Liberalism, Constitutional Nationalism and Minorities, The Making of Romanian Citizenship, which is a definitive account of the history of Romanian citizenship during the long 19th century. This study highlights the challenges nascent liberal democracies face in the process of consolidation and the enduring appeal of illiberalism in periods of upheaval represented mainly by nativism. Professor Iordaki currently serves as president of the International Association for Comparative Fascist Studies. He is a co-editor of the journal East Central Europe and also a member of the academic committee of the House of European History in Brussels. Let me also introduce second, the Distinguished Teaching Award in recognition of outstanding contributions made by CEU faculty members to this area. This year, there are 2 recipients of the CEU Teaching Award. First, we are pleased to confer the CEU Distinguished Teaching Award on Professor Hei-Shin Yoon. Hei-Shin is an assistant professor at the Gender Studies Department, researching and teaching in the field of biopolitics, post-colonial and post-human theories, and performance studies. She is currently working on her book, on a book project called Prosthetic Memories, examining the ethics of embodied memory in an age of transnational mobility and biotechnology by examining the diasporic tongue as both language and organ, animal cloning and human stem cell research across the United States and South Korea. I would like to quote from one student from the student evaluations of Professor Hei-Shin. You see that they matter. And the quote goes, "This has, in terms of content, conduct, outcome, been the most challenging, exciting, and rewarding of experiences so far in my academic work." The student talks about Professor Hei-Shin's teaching. The second recipient of the 2019 CEU Distinguished Teaching Award is Carsten Schneider from the Department of Political Science. Since 2004, Professor Schneider has taught at CEU courses in comparative politics, political regime change, and social science methodology. His current research focuses on how public speeches of political leaders indicate a degree of support to liberal democracy or alternative political regimes. Carsten was elected recently to the German Academy of Young Scientists, was a visiting scholar at Harvard University and Pompeu Fabra University, and just won another award, the David Collier Mid-Career Achievement Award from the Academic Political Science section on multi-method research. Of course, not as important as the CEU Award. Another quote from one of his students this time. "Professor Schneider really advanced my knowledge of the conventions, concepts, and methods used in the subject. I am impressed by the clarity of his arguments and the constant building process of previous studies." I would like to ask Professor Konstantin Yordaki, Heishin Yoon, and Carsten Schneider to come forward and receive the awards from President and Rector Michael Ignatieff. Congratulations and thank you. And now I would like to announce the winner of the European Award for Excellence in Teaching in the Social Sciences and Humanities. This is the most prestigious teaching award in Europe. It was initiated by CEU, but it is open to any university teachers in the social sciences and humanities, broadly defined, from the 48 countries of the European higher education area. There are quite a few European-wide awards for research, but none for teaching. CEU's decision to launch this award in 2011 was meant to draw attention to the importance of teaching and teachers in general and in the social sciences and humanities in particular. The recipients of the European Award for Excellence in Teaching in the social sciences and humanities are selected by a prestigious international committee. The award is supported by a generous endowment gift from Stephen and Linda Dinner in memory of Ilona Dinner, and it is also known as the Dinner Prize. It is a little bit like a small Nobel Award for teaching in the social sciences and humanities because it has an endowment, so it can exist in perpetuity. Previous recipients were from universities in Austria, Ireland, Holland, Germany, Italy, England, and Hungary. This year's recipient is Dr. Georgina Blakely, former Director of Teaching and Senior Lecturer in Politics at the Open University in the United Kingdom, currently serving as Director of Teaching, Learning and Student Experience at the University of Huddersfield. The chair of the selection committee for the award, Professor Marvin Laserson, praised Blakely for her brilliance in connecting complex ideas to compelling teaching methods in ways that have global resonance. I would like now to ask Professor Blakely to come forward and receive the award from our President and Rector.
Distinguished guests, President, Provost, faculty colleagues, fellow award winners, and of course, students. I'm extremely honoured and humbled to receive this prestigious teaching award alongside such distinguished colleagues. It's been a pleasure to be here the last couple of days to meet some of your wonderful students and staff, and I'd particularly like to thank Gonora, Tunde, and Helga for looking after me so well. I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of the other award winners. This award is the only pan-European award to honour teaching, so I would like to thank the Central European University and the Diener family for its commitment to promoting teaching through this award. But of course, this is not just my award. This award belongs to the Open University and its thousands of students and graduates. Many students come to the Open University having failed previously at school. They come with work commitments, caring responsibilities, and complicated personal lives. Many come from deprived backgrounds, and some study in the most adverse of circumstances, including in prison. This award belongs to all of those students. This year, the Open University is celebrating its 50th birthday, so it seems especially fitting to receive the award in 2019. The Open University, like your university, is committed to promoting the values of an open and democratic society. Its mission is to be open to people, places, ideas, and methods. It promotes educational opportunity and social justice by providing high-quality university education to all who wish to realise their ambitions and fulfil their potential regardless of their background. This mission to promote educational opportunity and social justice is even more important today than it was 50 years ago. I'm sure it's not escaped your attention that the current political situation in the UK is, shall we say, interesting. You'll be relieved to know that I'm not going to launch into an explanation of how we have arrived at the two Bs, Boris and Brexit. But any part of that explanation has to consider the fact that Britain today is an extremely unequal society where many people feel left behind. This makes teaching and research in the social sciences and humanities of the utmost importance. Research-led teaching, which encourages students to think critically about the social world around them in order to change it for the better, drives my work, that of the Open University, and that of my new institution, the University of Huddersfield. It's also clear that it drives the work of everyone at the Central European University. So I thank you once again for the great honour you've shown me in awarding me this prize. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgiana. And now we conclude the opening ceremony for CEU's 29th academic year. We wish you all a very successful academic year in Budapest and in Vienna and in Budapest again. I would like to extend a warm invitation to everybody, students, faculty, staff, guests, to join us for a reception in the lobby of the Nador 13 building. Thank you very much.